from John Kelsch, the 6-foot senior running back. Olathe East last time out, they dominated Blue Valley West 34-14. Again, that defense for the Hawks did their job in stymieing the offense of Blue Valley West. Pitch out, this to Kelly. Kelly trying to get around the edge, can't quite do so. And that was Frazier, check that. Hayden Frazier takes it off to the left for about a gain of 3 yards. Brought down by Marlon Williams, who plays nose tackle. It's 2 Marlins on that defense for Blue Valley Northwest. Marlon Williams and Marlon Mitchell, one right behind the other. Mitchell plays will linebacker right behind the nose guard of Marlon Williams. Blazevic under center, fake handoff off to the right, then hands off to Kelly. Kelly trying to get out to the outside and breaks some tackles inside to the 5-yard line before he's finally brought down on that far hash line. Kendall Kelly with some shake and bake moves to get over to the far hash line, and then he just couldn't be roped down. First and goal after that big gash from Kendall Kelly. All right, so set up John Blazevic with a loaded backfield. 3 running backs behind him in a pro set. Play, no, they do hand it off, and it looks like they might have gotten a few yards before the pile is pushed back. So a gain of about 3. It looks like they're going to put him on the 2-yard line. So from the 5 to the 2. Mason Gaddy, defensive end, comes up with the initial hit, and a whole pack of Huskies got there right about the same time and pushed him back. So try it again. Coach Meyer and the Olathe East offense. Handoff left side. Kendall knifing through the defense over left tackle into the end zone for a score. Olathe East on the board first. 6-0 here as they host Blue Valley Northwest. 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter, and Olathe East donning those rare orange on orange uniforms has the lead in what is somewhat known as their senior night, albeit they play at Olathe South, their last game, but both schools being Olathe schools, that means that they're going to play in one of the 2 athletic facilities here in Olathe, so undoubtedly going to play in their home city and have a huge turnout of fans. And the extra point tacked on for a 7-0 lead for Olathe East and the Hawks. You're listening to 810varsity.com. And don't forget, 810 Varsity does a phenomenal job of tracking every team around the metro area and beyond. You can go to 810varsity.com to check out a bracketology type setup for where 810 Varsity's sports analysts will think each team will be bracketed in the postseason. Postseason just around the corner. I can't even believe it's Friday already, let alone the fact that it's the second to last game of the regular season. Pretty phenomenal that this autumn has just been flying by. Flying by was the rushing offense for Olathe East, so now they're going to kick it off after that rushing offense got them some points on the board. I believe it's Starks back there to return for the Huskies. Also back there is Marlon Mitchell. Dante Starks on the far side, Mitchell on the near side back there. And it's going to be Starks who takes it at the 5 on the far side, cutting over to this side and angling back to the left. And brought down around the 20 by a few Hawks. So he took it up into traffic and got bound down at about the 20-yard line. And that is, again, where the Huskies will start off. They started off their first drive with a touchback at the 20 and now spotted just a little below, above the 20-yard line. Call it the 21. That is where the Huskies will start this time. The first time they were out, they had a couple pass completions, but the East defense got in the backfield to disrupt things and caused a few negative plays to set up a punt, and East took it all the way to pay dirt when they got the ball in their hands of the offense. Passing is Fugate and his target on the far side. Moses was not ready, kind of came out of his break a little funky and couldn't get his balance. So incomplete is this one, 2nd and 10 from the 21. Garrett Fugate, talking about his passing, as I mentioned, 4 passing touchdowns. But again, he had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. He had 19 rushes for 145 yards. So don't fall asleep on this kid on his feet. And this throw, not caught to Dante Starks. Led Starks a little bit too much, and he can't come up with that catch. All right, so Fugate going to try it again. One of the rare teams in the high school ranks that doesn't completely huddle up. They run a higher tempo offense, albeit the play clock is down to 14. So they still take plenty of time off the clock getting the signal in from the sideline, but they don't traditionally huddle up, something you see a lot more from college teams. Fugate rolling off to the right and throwing deep, can't connect at about the 35-yard line. The ball falls incomplete. And putting a stick on a man. Looked like that might have been Zach, check that, Junior Williams. Not sure who that was back there, but yeah, it looked like Junior Williams separated his offensive assignment from the ball there. So guaranteeing an incompletion was Williams, and he's going to go back to return this punt. Again, Kyle Larson here on this Great Mall, the Great Plains game of the week. Alex Gold filming here for us for 810varsity.com, and a flag on the play. Look like false start. Yeah, that is the deal, and they're going to move it back from the 21 all the way back to the 16. So 4th and 15 now after that false start. And it looks like Bailey Stroll is going to be lined up just outside of his end zone, right? Standing right on his own 2-yard line to punt this one away. So max protect from the Huskies, and the Hawks get back there pretty close to put the pressure on, but he gets it away. Junior Williams trying to break tackles, bouncing to the left, and is wrapped up at the 40. Got some help there. Bringing down Junior Williams was Parker Johnson. Johnson made the initial hit, and the Huskies coverage unit came in to clean up the tackle at the 40-yard line. But again, Junior Williams starts them in Husky territory. So another short field for Olathe East. And John Blazovic gives the signal and gets them out of the huddle. Again, they go with that loaded backfield. Looks like McCray playing somewhat of an H-back on the near side. And deep back is check that's Kelsch off the right side. Kelsch takes it for about 3 yards, so call it 2nd and 7 upcoming. Kelsch checking out. In his place comes Hayden Frazier. Chad Johnson, the wide receiver nearest the sideline over here, standing about the 40 on the field. The ball placed at the 37. In motion goes McCray, and the handoff right up the middle to Frazier is stacked up by the Husky defense. Frazier does take it for a gain of about 2, so call it 3rd and 5 now. Frazier checks out, Kelsch checks back in, and the Olathe East Hawks are faced with a 3rd down at the Huskies' 35-yard line. In the backfield is Kelsch. Blazovic under center with the majority of his targets over to the left side, but they're going to hand off to Kelsch. Kelsch can't get away from the defense of the Huskies, and making the tackle was John Panegasser, the Mike linebacker. Pretty good job by Panegasser getting into the hole quickly and making Kelsch stay in front of him. So 4th and 5 again after no gain on 3rd down. A little too far for field goal range, and really no point in punting from here, so Blazevic goes under center in the power I. Ryan Woodson, the up back. Back to pass is Blazevic, looking over to the right for McCray. Catches it near the sticks. It's going to depend on the marker, or I should say for the spot, as to whether or not he got past the marker. So this very well could be a first. Well, it's going to be a first down either way, really. We're going to see if it's for the Hawks or for the Huskies, as that pass was caught right on the chalk line. It looks like he needed to get to the chalk line to see if he could get a first down. So it was McCray on the catch. Blazevic connects on his first pass of the day. And they are measuring right now to see if the East Hawks have a drive that is still alive. No, they're short on fourth down. So turnover on downs. Huskies take the ball, and a good tackle in their defensive secondary keeps DJ McCray from gaining that first down. So they'll get the ball back. This is their best field position they've had, but of course it's only their third drive here in the first quarter. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to go. Olathe East leads 7-0 as Blue Valley Northwest, the Huskies in black and white. Their main color really is purple, but used more as a trim color on their jerseys here tonight, are in the shotgun. And look at this, it's Fugate. On the play action, he rolls out to his right and eventually is brought down by a couple Hawks. And he looks like he picks up about 3 yards before he's brought down. Guthrie and Kelly there on the stop. Nathan Guthrie, a sophomore, played his way into some starting time. And how about this? A good pass over on the near side from Fugate. He connects with Austin Moses. And that's enough for a first down. Just as I mentioned, the Huskies get the play in fairly quickly. They go into that up-tempo offense. And here they are again on 1st and 10, waiting for the ref to spot the ball. He does so. And they're about at midfield, 5 yards away, and a high pass. Almost intercepted, tipped up in the air. It actually went through the hands of Bailey Stroll, the intended target. And then it looked like McCray had a play on the ball. And Sam McReynolds, pardon me, was the man who tipped it up. But it does fall incomplete. That was a big turnover potential on that one as the ball went straight up in the air. So back to pass is Fugate. Good pickup on the blitz, and then another throw out to the left side is connected at midfield. So chipping away through this passing attack is Blue Valley Northwest on the arm of Fugate. So back to pass again. Fugate over the far side. Not sure if he caught that inbounds. No, they're going to say 4th down, incomplete. Didn't have control of it as he went out of bounds. And Fugate looks like he might stay out here to attempt to go for it on 4th down near midfield. Nope. Deciding against it are the Huskies. Head coach Mike Zagunis says, let's go with the field goal unit, as it's Bailey Stroll back there. And the block almost there. Stroll hasn't had a solid kick yet of the 3 punts. They've kind of wobbled out there in this one again as he tried to get away from Sam McReynolds, who was so close to blocking that punt. The ball trickles out of bounds at the 31. That is where Olathe East will set up again. Olathe East has had 2 drives. This is now their third. 1 turnover on downs was their most recent drive. The first drive was a 48-yard drive that resulted in a touchdown from Kendall Kelly. So John Blazevic goes under center. Kelly is the deep back. 2 wide receivers off to the right and a tight end, tight left. Blazevic hands off to Kelly running left side, and they clogged it up pretty good, but Kelly churning his feet gets a couple yards out of the deal and moves it up to the 32. They're going to give Demetrius Abernathy credit on the tackle there, but again, the Huskies doing a good job swarming to the ball. And when they get a hand on a running back, usually do a good job of holding on to wait for the other guys wearing black and white to show up. John Kelch, the deep back, 2 up backs over here, and it's going to be a pass. No, it's a designed run play for John Blazevic, and he doesn't get much out of it. Actually loses a yard. Good penetration from that defensive line of the Huskies. Mason Gaddy on that far side, Jake Swaley, Marlon Williams in the middle of that defensive line, and Brennan Boland was trailing from his defensive end position on this side. So give it another 3rd and long for Olathe East. Last time they came up 6 inches shy of converting on a 4th down play. Doesn't look like they'd go for it on 4th here. Blazevic airs it out, throwing it deep for Chad Johnson, and Johnson can't get there. What a rainbow from Blazevic. Haven't seen him throw downfield too often, but the kid just unleashed one, and Chad Johnson couldn't catch up. So incomplete is that pass. Ball went, well, it was a good 40 yards in the air, but falls incomplete. 4th down, and back to punt are the Hawks. Looks like Cone is back there for the Huskies to take the kickback. And Williams boots this one away. A really good kick from Williams. And Cone breaks a tackle at the 30 where he caught the ball, and he's trying to break another one. He does so to get up to the 35, but eventually the Hawks surround him, and down he goes at the 36. Minute 33 left to go in the first quarter. 7-0 still. Olathe East leads this one. Visit MrOlathe.com to search homes for sale in Olathe, Johnson County, and the entire KC metro area. Make MrOlathe.com your one-stop shop for searching homes for sale. That's MISTER, Olathe.com. Again, I got to urge you, check out Playoff Central on 810varsity.com. Make sure 810varsity.com is your central hub for the playoffs. At Playoff Central, you can get live district standings, live updated playoff brackets, and even bracketology, as I mentioned. It's very interesting. Check it out. 810 Varsity predicting the playoff field. And handing off, wow, this one to Mitchell, and he's got a really good gain of about 17 yards before he's brought down. Actually, give him 20. Big ripoff from Mitchell. 20-yard gain by Marlon Mitchell, and the Huskies are in business. First time they've crossed midfield, I believe. They got really close last time. And again, with 2 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right, they hand off to Mitchell. Another draw play, and Mitchell just a bowling ball, wrecking his way through the defense of the Olathe East. He picks up about 8 yards as he gets inside the 40 of the Hawks, down inside to the 37. Good hard-nosed running from Marlon Mitchell. 5'9" senior running back. Hard to bring down. He weighs 200 pounds, so a couple inches shorter than his quarterback standing next to him, but weighs more than Fugate. Handoff again, same play, and Mitchell on a second effort dives for that marker and gets across the 35, the line to gain, all the way down to nearly the 34. So he picks up more than enough for a first down. So 1st and 10 Huskies with 33 seconds left to go in the first quarter, trailing by 7, are inside of Olathe East Hawks territory. And Fugate passing out the assignments at the line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, with a tight end on the near side. In motion. Check that as Fugate is in trouble and brought down. Dante Starks was the man in motion off to the far side, but Fugate on the play action kept it himself and didn't get much out of that one. So 2nd and 10. Looks like they might have gave him a couple inches at best, and that is the end of the quarter. First quarter in the books. 7-0. Olathe East leads. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. Again, I'm Kyle Larson alongside Alex Gold here for 810varsity.com. Your source for the playoffs is 810varsity.com. I don't know of another website around the country that you can watch this many high school sports in one stop. 810 Varsity does a phenomenal job covering the Kansas and Missouri sides. So if you're interested in either of those sides, make sure you check in at 810varsity.com. Christian Brothers Roofing. If you're going to trust the roof over your head, you need to trust your roofing company. With Christian Brothers Roofing Company, you get years of experience and integrity. Don't wait until you know there's a problem. Contact us for complimentary 16-point roof and gutter inspection at Christian Brothers Roofing at 816-453-ROOF or at 853roof.com. $5 foot-long subs are back at Mr. Goodcents. 7 great subs to choose from. Come see what fresh really is at Mr. Goodcents. All right, here's Fugate again, and that spread set, and he pulls it down to run and is trying to run out to the left side and is tackled, roped up by the Hawks in the backfield by Myron Tipton. Tipton, the defensive end, coming in there and didn't bite at all on that fake from Fugate. Good job, and makes him lose 4 yards. 3rd and 14, Fugate. The closest they've got to the end zone right now. Ball spotted at the 37. Pass a little behind the intended target, but breaking a tackle on the far side and then cutting it up midfield. This is going to go to the house. Fugate on a button hook and a wonderful broken tackle by Austin Swales. Wow. Phenomenal run after the catch by Swales. It looked like he was dead to rights, short of the first down marker on 3rd and 14. He breaks one tackle and he finds daylight right toward the middle of the field and runs it in. And they're just 1 extra point away from tying this one up with 11 minutes and 22 seconds left to go in the first half. Kicking this one is Bailey Stroll. Wide receiver, defensive back, punter, kicker, Mr. Utility is Bailey Stroll, and he pounds that one right over the crossbar and in between the uprights to make this one 7-7. 11:22 again left to go in the first half, and then we have a tie ball game. There's that passing attack that we talked about, the quick strike potential from Fugate. Had himself 6 touchdowns. The ball game was pretty close last week when he had those 6 touchdowns. It was tied at 28 against Olathe South with just a few minutes left to go in the third quarter. 2 minutes left to go, to be exact. And Olathe South, was then held to just 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter. And Blue Valley Northwest laid it on them with a couple. Not really traditionally a slow-starting team. They did have 14 points last week in the first quarter, so they do eventually get on the board. Again, Olathe East defense is pretty outstanding also. To kick off is Mason Gaddy. Gaddy boots this one, a pretty good one, all the way back inside the chalk line of the goal line, and Junior Williams on a back pedal can't get it before it goes in the end zone. And that's going to set up the touchback for Olathe East. Olathe East runs the offense they like to call the multiple I. In other words, Blazovic is usually under center, and their tailback usually has a lead blocker of some kind, and they call it multiple because the lead blockers in front of them vary pretty well. This time, it's Ryan Woodson, I believe, leading the way for Kendall Kelly. Kelly ran up for about a gain of 4 before he was bounced to the outside and just kept getting driven back. He's talking with the referees now. It looked like he might have got a minor face mask against him, but it was not called. So Olathe East with a 2nd and 7. Call it 2nd and 6 after that 4-yard pickup of Kelly on their own 24-yard line. are tied with the Huskies. And now a handoff to Kelsch. Kelsch hit a couple times, one high, one low, and Kelsch goes down. Flag on the play, though, on the far side. We'll see what the play or the call is as the white cap goes back to call false start. Usually blow the play dead, but that one, the flag took a little while to get out of the pocket of the far line judge. Kelsch checks out, so does Chad Johnson. In the backfield for Olathe East is Kendall Kelly. Pro set single back for Kelly. Yeah, it looks actually more like a wishbone, kind of triple option. And Blazevic drops the ball. Not sure if he got it back. A fumble on the exchange, and the Huskies looked like they were close to it. Blazevic fighting tooth and nail. Ball looks like it's going to stay with the Hawks. So call it third down, but that was a detrimental play. They just lost about 5 yards. So all the way back at their own 14-yard line. It is now 3rd and 16. Blazevic did get it back. Ten minutes, 33 seconds left to go as Blazevic breaks the huddle. Chad Johnson back in there on the near side. DJ McCray just off to his left. And a split back formation in the backfield has Kendall Kelly off to the right and Spencer Taylor off to the left. So timeout here. And it looks like it was Olathe East taking the timeout. Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of A10varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. MidstateSports.com is what provides us with our statistics for Olathe East. They do a phenomenal job of tallying up all the schools in the Sunflower League and beyond. So check out MidstateSports.com. That's mid, M-I-D hyphen States, State Sports, one word.com. Olathe East has the second best rushing offense, or check that, the third best, pardon me, rushing offense in the Sunflower League, running for 1,800 yards. That is an average of 267.5 yards per game. Pretty phenomenal ground attack for Olathe East, and they come out in that split set again with Kendall Kelly on the near side, and again it's Spencer Taylor on the far side in the backfield. McCray, the man in motion as he walks up toward the line, and it's a play action, and Blazevic has pressure in his face, throws it to McCray. McCray can't get it. Incomplete. And what a time for the pressure coming from Marlon Williams. Marlon Williams, the nose tackle on that defensive line, just busted right through that Hawks O-line. Didn't bite on the play action or any of the motion stuff. Just went right for the quarterback to set up 4th and 14. 10:20 left to go in the first half. Tied at 7. Olathe East back to punt. It's Junior Williams standing on his goal line to kick this one away. Huskies have one man who gets through, and Williams might have felt the pressure as he bottled this one up straight into the air. And it lands at about the 35-yard line. Doesn't cross midfield, and that is where the ball will be down at about the 36 to be exact. And the Huskies have 36 yards to go if they want to take the lead. 10 minutes left to do it in the first half. Scoring defense for Olathe East, not too bad. They only give up 21 points per game. Again, that first game against Olathe North kind of skewed things when they gave up 29 and a lot of yards. But again, they've really held fast since week 1. And Fugate showing no real urgency to get this one out. Kind of just a slow two-step drop through this one off to the far side. Incomplete. Intended for Swales, the kid who was able to connect on that touchdown pass. And Fugate standing back there at 6'3", has plenty of time to survey the field, has a pretty good view of what's going on. Doesn't need to roll out to see downfield. Took his time there. Fugate now on a quick throw, slant over the middle. Looks like he's got about 7 yards on 2nd and 10 on the far side. Swales again the intended target, and he picks up 7 yards to make it 3rd and 3. Ryan Woodson got the tackle to bring him down, and back to pass again is Fugate. A little bit of pressure as he rolls out to the left side, and now has to break a tackle. Does so and loses the ball. He fumbles, but diving on it. Looks like that was Pottinger. Check that. That might have been Panegasser. Yeah, that was Josh Panegasser pouncing on that ball just in time to preserve the possession for the Huskies. But that's going to bring up 4th and now 7 after they lose a few. And it was Fugate trying to break a tackle, kind of winging the ball out there in his throwing hand. Got it poked away from him. So we got a quick timeout, it looks like by Olathe East. Olathe East takes their 2nd timeout of the half. 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to go here in the 2nd quarter, tied at 7. Fugate and the Husky offense looking to try and put some more points up on the board. Again, it's gridlocked at 7, but head coach Mike Zagunis would like to see them put up a little bit more through the air. It looks like they've had quite a bit of success. Of course, rushing. Their running back Mitchell, Marlon Mitchell, broke off a few big runs in their first drive, which actually did get them across midfield the first time, and then passing they got across midfield. So they've been across midfield now 3 times in 5 drives. Head coach Mike Zagunis talking it over with his offense on the sideline as Olathe East has taken a timeout. Head coach Myers over on the near side talking with his men in orange to try and preserve this tie at 7-all. 8:50 left to go. And Fugate back out there in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers to the right. 1 down here on the near side, and Fugate looks back, and he's going to look over to the left and does get a comeback catch again from Swain, I believe. Now check, that's Austin Moses for enough for a 1st down. Wow. Good clutch catch by Austin Moses. Didn't look like it was really sure-handed, but did enough to pull it into his body and maintain control of that one to set up 1st down at the 24. So originally set up on the 36, now down into the 24 of the Hawks are the Huskies. Fugate back to pass, balance spread. Hands it off up the middle and breaking some tackles and fumbling the ball, fell right on it, was Panegasser. Josh Panegasser, the senior running back, who also weighs 200 pounds, much like Marlon Mitchell. Has a couple inches on Mitchell, though. 5'11" is Panegasser, and coughed the ball up, but fortunately for him, as he was being tackled, fell right back on it. Now the Hawks showing blitz, no safety help, and indeed it is a blitz. Coming off the edge was McCray, and it looks like he caused a little bit of trouble there on the running game. And let's see if they get the 1st down. Looks like it's going to be really close. The ball spotted near the line to gain, which would be the 14. McCray did get credit for the tackle. He came in off that corner blitz. And without measuring it, looks like they did give it to him. The chain gang now coming out to measure it. But by the initial spot, it looks to be pretty good. 7:52 left to go. I'm Kyle Larson alongside Alex Gold here for A10varsity.com. Tied at 7 are the Huskies and the Hawks, and the Huskies have just picked up a first down to keep this drive moving forward. Down into the 14-yard line. It's a good run there by Josh Panagasser. Really good defense coming off the edge from McCray. Just couldn't quite get to him in time to stop that pickup of the first down. Looks like Panagasser is still in there to the right of Fugate, the quarterback, who takes a one-step drop. Very nonchalant quarterback as he throws this one out to the far side, picked up by Swales, who catches it at about the 5-yard line. So a gain of about 7, setting up 2nd and 3. Looks like the Hawks have too many men in their defensive set. Yeah, just coming off in time was DJ McCray, and their goal line defense is now in. Fugate, standing so tall, he really doesn't need to take a step back to pass from that shotgun set. Hands off this time, and churning his legs over the chalk line and into the end zone is Josh Panagasser. Panagasser on the touchdown, gives them a 6-point lead with an extra point awaiting. 7:05 left to go in the first half, and the Huskies of Blue Valley Northwest are looking to stun yet another Sunflower League opponent. Olathe South is their district opponent also, and they faced them with some success last week, defeating them in the first district game of the year for both of them. Olathe South was undefeated at 6-0, and this one is good. Well, very close was the kick from Bailey Stroll with 7 minutes left to go. Olathe South was undefeated when they took on Blue Valley Northwest. Northwest handed them their first loss of the year. Northwest moves to 4-3, looking to pick up another win here to move to 5-3. But how about that district kind of turned upside down? Olathe South, the clear-cut favorite in the Sunflower League. And it looked like Olathe East, with their 5-1 record, were second favorites here as Northwest crashed the party to take first place in the district. So back to return this one, Junior Williams on the far side. And it looks like it's Miller Hayes. Check that, Hayes Miller on the near side. The kick is a bit of a squib. Junior Williams scoops it at the 11. And he's running up behind a wedge. Good blocking there, but Williams kind of outruns his blockers as he crosses the 30-yard line and brought down to about the 31. So Junior Williams, the kick returner, sets up his Olathe East Hawk offense at the 31-yard line as they trail by 7 with 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Head coach Jeff Myers of the Hawks definitely going to lean on Kelsch as he's in the backfield now with 2 blocking backs in front of him. Blazovic under center, 1 wide receiver off to the far side. Looks like that's Chad Johnson. Handoff to Kelsch. Kelsch running right through the defense and tries to spin, but is brought down from behind as he gets a first down and then goes inside the, or I should say past the 45 down to the 46. Good break off by Kelsch as he picks up more than enough for a first down. Like a 15-yard gainer from Kelsch. Now in the backfield is Kelly. Blazovic again under center, but this time he's got more passing options. 2 wide receivers off to the left. Looks like McCray is in the slot position over there, and Junior Williams, the slot receiver on the near side, goes in motion. Fake to McCray and handoff to Kelly. Check that, was a fake to Williams and handoff to Kelly. Gets about 5 yards from the big guy, Kendall Kelly. 6 foot, 185 pounds, the tallest running back, but not necessarily the stockiest running back out there. Leans forward for 5. Again, Blazovic in the backfield. Kelsch gets the handoff right side. Good blocking on the edges from the Hawks, and they are just cutting through this Husky defense. Another first down from Kelsch as he moves across midfield and down to the 41. Huskies defense going to have to get strong here, as it looks like running to the edges has provided a lot of success here in this drive for the Hawks. And they go again to that split back. It looks like Spencer Taylor on the near side. Check that. Yeah, it is Spencer Taylor, but it's a handoff to Kelsch over on the left. Kelsch trying to spin away from a defender. Can't do it. Brought down for a first down on an 11-yard gain to the 32. And the Huskies still getting gashed on the edges. This time they go to the far side on that left tackle and still pick up the first down. That offensive line for Olathe East: Myron Tipton, Adam Epting, Matt Gorby, Ethan Gross, and Marcus Elam, all seniors except for Matt Gorby, a junior, doing a phenomenal job paving the road for Kelsch. Kelsch is in the backfield yet again, except they hand it off this time. No, it's a play action to the up back. Well, actually, he did have the ball. Ryan Woodson. Wow. Couldn't quite be sure he did have the ball, as he really ran like he did have it, but couldn't quite tell where the ball went. Good, quick handoff from Blazovic to Woodson, and there's a player down. Looks like a Husky down on the field here in the first half. 5:16 left to go. Olathe East trailing by 7. 14-7, the Huskies lead here in the first half. Visit MrOlathe.com to search homes for sale in Olathe, Johnson County, and the entire KC metro area. Make MrOlathe.com your one-stop shop for searching homes for sale. That's MISTER, Olathe.com. This is the Great Mall of the Great Plains game of the week here in Olathe. Olathe East hosting Blue Valley Northwest, who comes in from just over yonder, a little farther east in Overland Park. That's where Blue Valley West's home camp is. They're here for the Great Mall of the Great Plains game of the week, and to take on Olathe East, their second Sunflower opponent of the year. You can save up to 70% and more at the Great Mall. Visit our new stores: OK Fashions, Shoes for Less, Sportables Outlet, Sugar Plums, Technopole Website Services, Treasure Hunt, and Trends. Hundreds of brands, thousands of deals. The Great Mall, I-35, 215 is the exit in Olathe. And it looks like the Huskies player is off to the bench. Can't quite make out the number for you, but he is okay. Walked out under his own power, and they hand off to Kendall Kelly, who's brought down after a gain of 4. And again, surprise, surprise, they run off tackle, this time off to the right tackle, and Kelly picks up 4 yards. Looks like that might have been strong safety Max Tilden, who was helped off the field earlier. And now a handoff to the up back, and no one suspected that from John Kelsch. He was lined up over on the left side almost as a fullback and just darting, much like we saw from his first grab of the game. This handoff, he just took it and went out like a shot to the end zone. So tying it up is, well, going to be the kicker, I guess, as we wait for the extra point. But Kelsch gives him the opportunity. Trailing by just 1 now with the extra point coming. The Olathe East Hawks strike with 4.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Chad Johnson, the holder, waits for the ball to get set. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and it is good from Ryan Algren. Algren, the junior, boots that one through to tie it up. 14-14 with 4.5 minutes left to go. And the Olathe East Hawks wearing their orange on orange uniforms here in their last official home game of the season. host the Blue Valley Northwest Huskies, and it's going to be quarterback Garrett Fugate awaiting the ball on that far sideline for the Huskies. How about John Kelsch on the season? He's averaging about 6 yards per carry, has 600 and, well, now I'm sure he has 700 yards as he had 11 yards shy of that mark. And I'm sure he's eclipsed that number here. He's also done a pretty good job picking up 7 touchdowns on the season. This kickoff returned up to the 35 on a very high kick. It was returned up to the 35 by Mitchell. Make sure 810varsity.com is your central hub for the playoffs. At Playoff Central, get live district standings, live updated playoff brackets, and even bracketology. 810 Varsity, predicting the playoff field. Your source for the playoffs here in Kansas and Missouri is 810varsity.com. Fugate with an empty backfield as Mitchell goes to the slot on the right side, and it looks like they're trying to set up the screen, and they do so, and a drop. A drop on the near side is Stroll. Looked like they had an option of throwing it on either side as Stroll was the split wide receiver over here. He kind of took a step backwards away from the line of scrimmage. And this one, Fugate going to keep it himself and try and run it. Can't do so. Big kid, not the speediest quarterback the Olathe East Hawks have seen this season. That might just go to Brad Strauss from Lawrence. Phenomenal runner and passer. Fugate can get it done with his feet, but only picks up about 2 yards there on second down. So set up 3rd and 8 now from their own 37-yard line. Huskies trying to get across midfield so they can set up a scoring opportunity, but they only have 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. 7 seconds on the play clock as Fugate awaits the snap. 4, 3, and he gets it off at the hip and then throws a dart over to the near side, and a good tackle preserving 4th down by Junior Williams is on Moses. Moses picks it up. Good catch from Moses through a lot of contact. None of it illegal, but just Junior Williams brought the boom when he came in. And Williams goes back to return the punt, but however, Fugate and the offense still out there, and now, yes, they finally decide to run that kicking unit out there. Mike Zagunis doesn't really want to make any snap judgments as he's taking his time sending out the punting unit. So 7 seconds left on the play clock, and they're just now getting set. 4, 3, 2, 1, and they just get it away as this one's going to be kicked by Stroll. Stroll on a bit more of like a rugby-style punt where he runs out, gets a little more air under this one, and kicks the East Hawks all the way down to their 12-yard line. That was a pretty darn good punt from Bailey Stroll. Junior boomed that one down, and this is going to be the worst starting position for the Hawks they have seen tonight. Of course, they had some success, though, of course, running the ball recently, so let's see how they handle that. With just 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first half, do they have enough time to try and grind out another score on the ground? We'll find out. Kelsch did a pretty good job of ripping off some yards. But Blazevic goes under center with that split back set. And another handoff. This one to Kelsch. It looks like he is going to go almost the distance. He's got one man to beat crossing midfield, angling to the right sideline, and he's going to do it. One play, one handoff, and a score from John Kelsch. My word. An 82-yard pickup from John Kelsch, and lightning just struck. That play only took about 7 seconds. Wow. John Kelsch from Olathe East puts the Hawks up for the first time since they led 7-0 in the first quarter. 20-14 is the score. 2.5 minutes left to go after Kelsch just bolted through the defense of the Huskies. My word. Again, kicking this one. And up through the uprights is Ryan Algren's kick. Holding was Chad Johnson. Check, that was a miss, 20-14. Waited for the signal. I thought it went through, but no. Algren's kick, no good. 2.5 minutes left to go. Can the Huskies respond just as quick? If they do, they need that extra point. They can have the lead here. The biggest scoring play they've had so far was about a 23-yard pickup by Austin Swales, the wide receiver, who caught a hitch pass on the far side and broke a tackle and broke one off. But we haven't seen anything like that 82-yard run we just saw from John Kelsch. So let's see if the Huskies can indeed break off some yards in big chunks, and this might just help them out. Almost going out of bounds, but no, has to pick it up on the far side at about the 15. That was crucial there, as the Huskies were waiting for the ball to go out of bounds to get a good spot and an illegal procedure penalty on the East Hawks. But how about that? The ball literally had just enough backspin on it to stay right in there on those hash lines on the far side. Looked like it forced Marlon Mitchell to just grab it and dive forward for whatever yards he could get on that live ball. So the Huskies, on a bit of a bad bounce, they start on their own 18-yard line. Fugate back to pass. Looks like Panagasser on the far, or to his right, and back to pass is Fugate over the middle, has a man at about the 26-yard line and knocked down. Looks like that might be Pottinger. Now check, that's Dante Starks, the slot wide receiver. Picks up that one and moves him all the way up to the 36-yard line. So a 20-yard pickup from Starks. And that sets up the Husky offense with a 1st and 10. Fugate sends a man in motion. Now there's a penalty on the play. Looks like this might be offsides. Junior Williams catches it. See if the penalty factors into this one as he nears back to the middle of the field and is brought down. Junior Williams with an interception. We'll see what the flag on the play is. It was thrown by the head referee. It's an illegal shift on the offense. Declined. So Olathe East picks up the interception and can preserve that lead into halftime if they can run out 1 minute and 54 seconds left to go in this first half. Big play from Junior Williams on the defensive side of the ball. That's Fugate's first turnover of the day. He's had a fumble, but he didn't lose it. He got back on it. Well, actually, it was Panagasser who got back on that one. So there's been a potential, a few balls on the ground, but no turnovers until right now when Garrett Fugate, the quarterback for the Huskies, threw it up for grabs, and Williams of East did a good job, and it's Kelly who's hitting the backfield, but they get big guy, runs right behind his blockers, and does a good job of picking up about 3. Junior Williams picks up the interception, and it sets up the Hawks at the 41. Now Kendall Kelly takes them inside the 40 down to the 38. Kelsch in there now. With the up back being Ryan Woodson. And he hands it off to Woodson, and we have a penalty down by the back judge. Not sure if this will be holding or possibly an infraction on the defense. Woodson did take it up to the 26-yard line, but holding is going to negate the gain from Woodson. Spot foul. 10-yard penalty from the 33 sets him up at the 43. So tough spot the Hawks find themselves in with 1 minute 20 left to go. They do have the lead. So maybe not quite as urgent to put on more points, but of course, head coach Jeff Myers of the Olathe East would like to score as often as possible. Now the clock winding, 1:14, and Blazevic is taking his time, sends Junior Williams in motion. Williams takes the handoff and is around the left edge. Williams crossing into the 30, now the 20, breaking a tackle and brought down from behind at the